Greetings, primitive humans. I come to you from the future. In the future, we are all. In the future, love-sex relations are all. One may make love to all things at all times in all possible forms and ways. In the future, we live inside of Walmarts, all of us. Many of us crammed, packed into various aisles. Each aisle contains a small sleeping module which rolls out. Aisles are filed according to one's chosen fictional LARPing creature. I myself am a rat. I am the Pope of the future. I'm the Pope in the future. And in the future, all of our food is provided directly from central Walmart locales. Some people choose to live inside of a Starbucks. Some people choose to live inside of a Target. Others have chosen the Google City lifestyle. I, being from the South, live inside of a Walmart. But my aisle is one of the most respected aisles in Walmart.
I am the Pope of the future. I'm the Pope in the future.
I live inside of the vending aisle wherein all French fries are distributed to all those who live in my skyrise Walmart. In the future, we only eat fries, genetically modified fries. As you can see, I'm wearing. In this video, we're going to explain to you how your life is going to be changed, primitive. Stop picking fleas, ape. Hey, ape. Young ape there. Why are you throwing your fecal matter? Why are you tossing your scat, ape? Primitive monkey brains. Primitive ape, I'm speaking to you with your genitalias. Ugh. As you strive to understand the words I speak to you with your chemical soup, primordial chemical soup brain, sorry, I am immediately linked to all creatures, and I just made love to 23 dragons at this moment. Pardon me, I was making dragon love, which you can't fathom. Virtually, I have a virtual hook in, which you won't fathom. I'm here to discuss this book with you, friend. Primitive ape friend. Allow me to speak it to your language. Does that translate for you, primitive? I'm going to explain to you what one of the prophets of the old days of the New Order said to you. He laid out for you each stage and phase of where you would be going into this glorious, brave new future with Mr. Wells. I hope it translates for you, primitive. Let's launch now into an explanation of globalist books. Our great forefathers in the new order, the globalists. Our great prophets and sages of the new religion. And yes, he calls it a new religion. And let's translate this to your primitive monkey brains, little primitives, little chimps, little gorillas, gorillas in the mist, gorillas in the mist. Peace. H.G. Wells, Masonic Illuminist, open conspirator. That's what we're going to talk about today, is his book, The Open Conspiracy. Now, a lot could be said here, and you may think that in my initial comedy sketch there, me being ridiculous, that I was joking about the future religion and so forth. And we're going to see that that's unfortunately not the case. H.G. Wells literally believes that what he's presenting is a new religion, and he talks about this very openly in the book, as we'll see. Before we get into that, though, this is, of course, the partial talk for free. If you want to hear the full talks and full videos and see the full recommendations, you can go to jaysanalysis.com and subscribe for $60 a year for $4.95 a month. And you can also get my book, Esoteric Hollywood, Sex, Cults, and Symbols in Film, which has over 100 5-star reviews, maybe one day 500 5-star reviews. But the book actually has an entire chapter on H.G. Wells and the globalist writings. And as you know, if you follow my work, we're doing the Globalist Books series. We're going through actual book after book after book of the globalists. We did, of course, Tragedy and Hope last year. In totality, all 1,300 pages, 16 hours of lecture, which you can subscribe to at Jay's Analysis. First hours are free. The full 16 hours is, of course, by subscription only. We did Bertrand Russell's Scientific Outlook last week, or a couple weeks ago. Before that, we did Miles Copeland's Game of Nations. You can find that talk, famous CIA operative. Before that, we did Brzezinski's Grand Chessboard, and we did Brzezinski's Between Two Ages. You can find those books and those talks as well. And we did the Anglo-American Establishment of Dr. Carroll Quigley. And so this week we turn to The Open Conspiracy. And, you know, a lot of these books some of them I had read years ago, not all of them. Some of them I had read parts of over the years. For example, Bertrand Russell, if you do a college course or try to do philosophy in grad or undergrad like I did, you will come in contact with various writings of Bertrand Russell. So I had read Why I'm Not a Christian and some of his pieces on logic. I was less familiar with his more cultural commentary and so forth, and so that's why we did Scientific Outlook, which we saw was quite monstrous. And what we get with H.G. Wells, the famous science fiction writer, right, War of the Worlds, Island of Dr. Moreau, which, again, I have analyses of all those as well. Analyses of Time Machine. What we get here is a propagandist. So if you remember from the Quigley talks, there was the outer circle of those involved in the real conspiracy, and they were the members of the Royal Society, the Royal Institute for International Affairs, a few thousand of those, if you recall from the Quigley books. The inner circles were Rothschild, right, these characters, according to Quigley. This is the origins of the CFR, Trilateral Commission, and all that, hence the Brzezinski books and so forth. So many, many more globalist books to go. I'm knocking them out, again, one by one, week by week. We did take a brief detour last week and did the talk on the New Testament and God's existence. So got a great response on that. I wish I'd had a little more traction, but the feedback was all 95% positive. So if you want to catch up on those, you can. Of course, all the talks stand alone. They don't have to go together, but most of what's coming in the next year, I don't mean from now to December, I mean the next year, as in the next 12 months. I mean, we're going to really cover a lot of globalist books. Arthur Koestler's Ghost in the Machine is another important one that we're going to cover. And that one actually ties into this, what we're doing today. And I think the most important thing to begin with is that what H.G. Wells is a propagandist.
first and foremost, I would say. I mean, yeah, he in a ways, he's an intellectual of a sort. I mean, he's kind of a thinker, but not anything like what you would get in, a Bertrand Russell or a, one of the more serious scientific or scientistic or philosophical thinkers. I mean, Wells is intelligent, but again, he's more of a propagandist and a fiction writer. I mean, that's what he's known for. But again, he does have these very blatant books that deal with the New World Order. And so when we look at the open conspiracy today, we're going to see that, I mean, the things that are admitted are just astounding, really. I mean, you really need to be familiar with this material to understand what's going on here. So we're talking about somebody here with Wells that is in that outer circle of the people who are the outer portico of the conspiracy, according to Quigley. That's his language. And then, of course, the inner circle and the junta. Wells is one of the propagandists of the kind of the outer circle, in my view. He's a true believer. He believes that the New World Order is going to be utopia, that it's going to be a scientific dictatorship that will raise man as a phoenix from the ashes, to use his terminology. And this New World Order is the phoenix from the ashes. I mean, whoever put this eye on this edition of the book was correct. I mean, that's really what we're looking at here. Wells was a high-level Freemason and was very open, very, very much a proponent of all the ideas of Marxism, of socialism, communitarianism. But what we're going to see in this book is that he has very penchant and serious criticisms of Marxism that distinguish his scientific technocracy from classical Marxism. So he's not a classical Orthodox Marxist. He's more of an evolved Marxist, the modern version of a Marxist, which is, of course, the globalist, the technocrat. So H.G. Wells is the model technocrat. We saw this with the character Brzezinski as we analyzed his books as well. Here we have, again, somebody in the circles of the Huxleys, in the circles of the British elite back in the 30s. This is a couple years, 1935. This is a couple years after Brave New World is published. Right? It's just a few years after Bertrand Russell's Scientific Outlook is published. So again, this is another one of these testaments, another one of these examples, another famous person who is a testament to this completely open plan. And what's amazing about this book is that the title of the book is about how their plan is open. It's an open conspiracy. Now, to all you haters out there, it's called a conspiracy. So there are real conspiracies. Here's proof. This one is called open. Now, if you don't know about this, then it's probably just because you're ignorant. If you do know about it, then if you actually believe this, you're duped. There's no way this is going to be for your good. And as we'll see, I mean, he's even going to say, yeah, a lot of people, unfortunately, are just going to have to die as a result of this. Right? They're going to have to die fighting for family and for country. And family and country are going the way of the dustbin. They're going to their grave. We're going to destroy family and nation, H.G. Wells says. And he sees those things as linked. All old ideas are going the way of the trash bin, garbage, juice, smoothies, according to H.G. Wells. So we're going to look at how this is a psychological warfare operation, which he says very early on in the first few pages. And he says that just like Russell, modern advanced technology is making the world global. This will lead to a centralization of all power, of all resources, and of total and complete control. He says the masses are ignorant to big-scale changes. The world is being globalized. They won't even notice it. Monopoly capitalism, he says interestingly, is going to be the means by which the global order will be erected. Then capitalism will be discarded as useless. Capitalism, according to Wells, was just a phase to take us to the global order. Out of that global order will come the phoenix from the ashes, the New World Order, which will be the completely controlled, managed, technocratic society, right, based around the religion of scientism. In fact, he is going to say that the new religion is the New World Order. In other words, the philosophy that he's putting forward in this book will be the new religion. You will sing hymns, he says, to the New World. You will sing hymns to the New World Order. Step into the New World Order, wade out a little bit deeper. H.G. Wells and Satan are going to save your soul. Literally, he says that you're going to sing these kinds of songs. Not that one. That's stupid. But he's saying that, when this is erected, everyone will see that this is the real religion, and you'll worship humanity collectively will be the new God. Literally. He says you'll realize that you as an individual don't have meaning or significance, and that really it's only the collective human race that is worthy of worship. And of course, that's all going to be controlled, and it's going to be decided who's going to be born until the time when the babies are born out of the test tubes. Literally, he says, until we get the test tube babies, the GMO babies, the world government will just have to decide all the levels of population in different countries and continents. So this is just a taste of what we're talking about here. Phase 1 is the ending of the family and the ending of patriotism, and the use of class warfare to stoke these forces, to stoke this change. That's phase 1. But just wait until I tell you what phase 2, 3, and 4 are, according to New World Order propagandist H.G. Wells in his Luciferian order. So if you want to watch the rest of this talk, as we said, you can subscribe at Jay's Analysis. But this is just the introduction, just the taste. And then, of course, subscribers get access to the full talk. You can also check out my show, Hollywood Decoded, at the Gaia Network, Gaia.com, where Jay Widener and I decode Hollywood's biggest films. Thank you for watching, and go ahead and check out the full talk.